The subversive operations of German spies and snitchers in World War I and World War II are well published, for example in the book Sabotage, The Secret War Against America, printed in 1942. These incidents also were reported in the news.
On May 26 and 28, 1942, two German submarines left the base at Lorient, one landing on Long Island, the second landed in Florida. 4 saboteurs landed from each submarine. They were well equipped with high explosives. Among the equipment they carried with them were blocks of TNT, some of which were disguised to look like lumps of coal. These were to have been left in department stores, railroad stations, and other places in your hometowns to kill the women of your family while they were shopping, to create panic and insecurity in this country. The submarine saboteurs were in jail 2 weeks after they landed. 6 of the 8 were executed after a military trial. After the fall of France in 1940, Adolf Hitler told his staff the war would soon end in German-dominated Europe. But there was another country that remained to be punished for her crimes against Germany. The country Hitler spoke of punishing was the United States.
Immediately after World War II ended, the United States propaganda turned against the communists. This was obviously a result of German spies and snitchers manipulating the United States government and society. The aim was, of course, to find a scapegoat to divert from German atrocities. It has to be kept in mind that Germans and their offspring are the biggest pressure group in the United States. Let's look at an anti-communist propaganda film produced by the United States military, probably in the early 1950s.
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it.
Let's have a look at the upper left corner of the film. We see the barman's hat and a symbol of 3 circles, probably in a silver or metallic color. This is exactly the inverted symbol of the most famous German arms manufacturer Krupp, known to every German. This sign is from a Krupp truck, a nice symbol for the German underground net of spies and snitchers. Now let's have a closer look at the barman. On his left are eagles, and he turns his head almost not recognizable away and towards the Krupp symbol. Away and towards the Krupp symbol. There is no doubt that the hate spread against United States intellectuals right after World War II was an operation to punish and isolate them for the fact that they were responsible for the United States entering the war and immediately crushing Germany again. The whole communist hunt of the McCarthy era was a convenient tool for the still existing German underground network to disrupt the United States society. Another obvious clue exposing the involvement of the German network is the distinct anti-Semitic undertone of the anti-communist investigations. Now let's have a look at the whole extract.
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist. If a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, or organizations labeled communist by the Department of Justice, she may be a communist. If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist. If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist. But there are other communists who don't show their real faces, who work more silently.
There seems to be a story within the story of this film. The man reading the newspaper is said to be a communist, and the man next to him is having a look at the newspaper. Contrary to the narrator's story, this looks very much like the reader is a German spy, and the man checking the newspaper is an American agent, not being aware of what is really going on. The message is, no worries, the Americans won't find out. And the secret smile of the reader enforces this message.
If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist.
Such concealed messages were rarely used in Germany before 1945, and to my knowledge only to inform a small part of the population. In German films, since the end of World War II till today, there are plenty of such concealed messages. They serve several purposes. The major aim is to create a feeling of all Germans knowing about this secret communication, while the Allies were not able to understand this. Another aim is the education of almost every German to understand such concealed messages and execute the orders transmitted. And yet another important reason for the use of concealed messages is the possibility to lie to the subjects of the German state. Everybody is to understand the messages, but of course is not able to verify it. And he is not able to discuss the message if he does not want to expose himself as a snitcher of the state. This even allows the state to silence an ongoing discussion by feeding its subjects with useless or false information on the matter. One obvious operation using concealed messages was the tagging of German number plates. During the 1960s till the 1990s, the criminals in German movies mostly had number plates showing an X, a Y or a Z. So every German knew who was guilty, long before the movie cops knew. And then the German administration began to hand out number plates with X, Y and Z to people under persecution for political reasons.